Right, hello everyone. My apologies. Hello, Dagoner. Apologies, I was running a tad late. I literally just finished another commentary at 5:2. And trying to get here in time to start at 8. Luckily enough, we're running a couple of minutes late by lots of things. But anyway, we're here for Hybrid Racing F1's second race of the season at Jeddah. Don't make things easier for themselves. We started at Miami last week, and now we're doing Jeddah this week. Get the difficult ones out of the way, I suppose. Why not? I've shared it all to Discord. I'm just gonna put a notification up. Right, okay. My apologies. So just what's going on then? Junkie Emperor, you're spinning around. Cheddar. There we go. Right, excellent. Right, I am now with you properly. Right, okay, let's start again. Hello everyone, welcome to HRF1. Second race of the season at Jeddah. Sam not off to a great start there. He's lost his front wing. He's in the pits. That's never a good start. Unlucky Sam. So sorry I caught that. Not. Excellent. So we got a short qualifying followed by 50% race. Who's next on track? It's an Alfa Romeo. So Robert H. Gill. That's a new one to me. I've not seen Robert before. See how he gets on. So let's see what a time we could do around here. I have absolutely no idea what time to expect around here. I know my time trial time around here is absolutely horrendous compared to last year. And I have tried and tried and I cannot seem to improve. I am completely stuck on a 129.0. When I look at my friends list, I see people in the 27s and the low 28s. It's just like, what? So I don't know if this track's gotten even harder on pad than it was last year, or whether I just haven't found the time yet, or what. I don't know. But I've done so many laps as well. It's annoying the hell out of me. Anyway, back to tonight's race. So, honestly, guys, I have no idea to look out for. Junkie Emperor was superb last week, so a shout out to him. Other than that, for a pole position, I think we're looking at Tempest, W. Paul, Watson, Gaguna possibly Junkie himself. Honestly, I don't know. Is the honest truth, but I think they're the most likely ones. But as I actually said in my previous commentary, there's always one that surprises you and qualifies better than you expect them to. So, always happens. So, we'll see who that is. That's Robert then. All looks pretty nice so far. All looks pretty nice and steady. I would really suggest it's important for everyone that they just get a time on the board first on a track like this. I mean, you don't want to literally drive around like a snail, but just get something on the board as a target for yourself. to aim for on your next attempt. And that gets you on the board. Anybody then that doesn't manage to get a time on the board in DNS will start behind you. So that's usually at a track like this, a couple of places gained already. So, Gill says this looks a decent lap. This all looks neat and tidy. I don't think it's going to break any world records on pace, but as we said, it's about getting one on the board first of all. So it's a 33.5 to get us underway. Let's go to Chris, who is out of the final corner. So Chris comes across on a 31.5. W pull a bit further back. Right, this is Beano Boy, but he's invalidated. So let's go to... This is Derek. Across the line he comes. It's all Beanie Boy going into the pit. It's a 32.8 from Derek. Let's go to W Paul. Oh, he's into the pits. Okay. Junkie Emperor, maybe. He's very much earlier on in the lap, as is Fatal. So we may as well stick. Let's go on board and ride with Junkie Emperor and actually see a lap of this quite incredible track, Saudi Arabia. Completely unlike any other track on the calendar, which is really impressive for a modern track. To really bring new challenges to Formula 1. It's a street circuit with ample opportunity to overtake. It's not one where you can't get past like Monaco. It is, without doubt, a street circuit with more than enough opportunity to overtake on it. HRF1-Round, meanwhile, has gone fastest on a 130.3. Big Willie fits into for 130.6. P2. Junkie Emperor's crossed on a 31.0 for P3. Let's go down to Fatal Defiance. He's on his way in through the third sector. So Fatal heads going to the line, crosses the line, and it's a 134.5. It's a time on the board. That really is the most important thing on the first lap around Jeddah. Just get one on the board. So Sam, meanwhile, is back out and is back onto a hot lap with a front wing this time. So we know this year's cars will actually still perform reasonably well even without a front wing, or certainly parts of the front wing missing. But I don't think Jeddah is really a track you want to be doing that at. So no more high-speed circuits, you may as well set the thing off. I think Monza you could do with taking it off the car, to be honest. But here comes Sam then, heads to the line. It's a 131.5, which puts him P5 currently. Lots of drivers on outlaps at the moment. I don't think anyone is actually on hot laps. Laguna's invalidated, so I'm not sure if he was. No, I don't think so. So, Watson then has just crossed the line. He's coming through sector 1, so he's now on a hot. He's the only one on hot lap, so we will watch him. So I would say pre-race. Probably pre-race favourite to take pole position, but there's a few on track that can stop him in his tracks. So last week's race didn't exactly go his way. It's really a very talented driver right there. Very clean as well, which we all like to see. That's as somebody who is a head admin in another league and used to run their own league as well. I cannot tell. I would much rather have one clean driver on track than 5 fast drivers that aren't clean every day of the week. It's the hardest thing for leagues to find is good, clean drivers. If they're fast as well, great, but there we have it. Anyway, Watson heads down towards the line for what I think is going to be pole position. No, it's not. It's P2. So Die Hard Swanee remains in P1 at the moment. It's 130.5 from Watson. Let's go down again then. Tempest has literally just started his lap, so let's go to Bino Boy. W Paul is heading down towards the line. There's also an Aston going after him. So W Paul goes fastest, 129.4, and that's more like the sort of marker I'm expecting. Wow, what is going on there? Well, I'm afraid, W Paul, you've got to take some responsibility there, man. You've just finished your lap, and Sam had just started his. You've got to show a bit more awareness there. That is Beanie Boy going past him now. In a way, let's forget that and go on to whoever's next, which would be Tempest. So in the Alfa Romeo, just coming towards the end of Sector 2. Just round here. 16.1 in the second sector. It's always good if I can get a time like that in my head to have an idea of where people are on their laps. So, maybe being a bit closer to the barrier, going around those corners. Don't gain you huge amounts of time, but it gives you a few hundredths or so, a couple of hundredths. So, oh, right, okay, I hadn't realised that he clearly wasn't on a hot lap. Karting King then, unfortunately, is invalidated. Let's go back to Beano Boy, not on a lap. He's gone up to P2, by the way, Beano Boy. I missed that one. 29.4. Pete then, clearly not on a lap either. Swanee is just 3 thousandths of a second down at the end of Sector 1. But he also backs out and lets the Haas through. Who is that Haas? Well, it's Big Willie Fitz, who was on an outlap, so I'm not entirely sure why Die Hard Swanee. He must have just been backing out his lap. Had the Gooner way up, 6.5 tenths up in Sector 1. It's a huge improvement. So, he comes in. Opens up the DRS around here as the end of Sector 2. And he is 7 tenths up. So he's currently heading towards a 30.2, which will put him P4. But has he got much left to improve? Just to say, meanwhile, we saw W Paul put in 29.4. Beano Boy's also done 29.4. Pete has done 29.5. Moment. If the Gooner can gain a bit more time in his final sector, he could go ahead of his teammate. He does indeed. 1.25 seconds, big improvement from the Gooner into P4. His teammate is on a lap, but not that far in yet, so let's just go elsewhere. Chris then is a second up. Oh, sorry, no, that was his last lap, so he improved by a second. Excellent. Big Willie not improving. Fox Hunter wasn't improving. I think we got to go to Junkie Emperor then. It looks like he is the man on a hot lap. So we got Sector 1 and 2 yellows. I'm not sure who that is. I think it's a Williams. So what's sorry, Junkie Emperor comes up towards the end of Sector 2, but he's 1.5 seconds down. Ugh. Swanee's heading for the line. I missed him when I was going through, but it's a 30.1 is an improvement for Die Hard Swanee. Time-wise, doesn't improve position, stays P6. Watson is invalidated. Chris is invalidated. Anyone else? Die Hard Swanee then has continued on and is up in the first sector. No, he's not. I'm lying. That was the still the split time from the end of his last lap. My apologies. We can watch it through to the end of sector 1. I don't think anybody else is on a lap. Nah, he's 3.6 down. Son coming up towards the end of sector 2. He's 1.1 up. So he's heading towards a 29.4 as well, which is where the top 2 are. But he had a poor first outing for him, really, so I suggest he could probably gain some time in this final sector as well, barring any mistakes. So, ends up DRS, it's as little a straggle as possible, and 29.2 puts what's on provisional pole. Derek just across the line. Fatal Defiance is at the end of sector 1 and is, wow, 9 tenths up at the end of sector 1. That's impressive. Where's Karting King? He's behind him. Okay, so let's stick with Fatal. Huge improvement already, which we've seen him gain a couple of places. Can he keep that level of improvement going? Well, he can keep that level of improvement going. He's now 1.8 seconds up. So now he's looking at 31.5, which would take him up 4 places. But you've got to assume that he's got a more improvement again in the final sector. So hopefully into the 130s at least. 130.8, 2.5 second improvement. Fantastic improvement from Fatal Defiance. Moves him up to P10. That means Haas are now P9 and P10. Very nice. Let's go to Derek. Who was the other one on the lap? I can't remember. I've forgotten, but we know Derek is. He's come through the final corner. Current lap PB is a 32.8. So any improvement on that will be good. And it is an improvement by 9 tenths of a second. Sees him P14 ahead of Robert Gill. Sam just starting a lap. Let's go to Bossman, Vox Hunter. Where's Karting King? So he's 7 thousandths up in sector 1. He's already done a lap, so just see if we can continue that through sector 2. But may find it gets a bit low on power towards the end of the lap. That's the only problem. But he hasn't got enough time to pit and come out again, so we may as well go for it. Fuel lights flashing. He's 12 thousandths up. How much of an improvement does he actually need? He basically needs to find a 10th on top of that in this final sector. And as I said, he's desperately running out of energy. Oh, Fox Hunter's bottled it again. He's out again. He can't finish the qualifying session. Oh, into the pits comes Karting King. He'd given up on it then. Perhaps the loss of power. Or the surprise of seeing his teammate out. Well, I'm not sure how much of a surprise it is anymore. But, maybe it put him off a little bit. So Sam C6. Round in the final corner now. He's come out that on a nice little time, so he's on for improvement here, without doubt. So, approaching the line, it's a 130.7, 3/4 of a second gained. Puts him into P11, so a good improvement from Sam. Old Big Willie is improving as well through sector 1. Is 3 tenths up in sector 2. Just needs to find a bit more. In fact, he doesn't need to find... If he finds about another 10th and a half in the final sector, he could gain a few places here. P7 is on the cards, potentially. For me, a gear too low at the final corner. But does improve time-wise, doesn't gain any places. Unlucky, Big Willie Fitz. But a nice improvement nonetheless. Protects you a bit from those behind. John Camper has invalidated, so will not improve. Die Hard Swanee was up. Sorry, I'm getting a bit confused with the timings there. I think Die Hard is on a lap. He was slightly up in sets of 1. W Paul is way down and is invalidated. Where is everyone? Right, Chris is quarter of a second up at the end of sets of 2. Quarter of a second could mean P7 if you can keep it up. But like we saw before, he's really low on energy, which is an important part of the final sector. So will he continue over? He may as well cross the line. Now into the pits he comes. Okay. Die Hard 20 it is then. W Forward invalidated, so Die Hard 20 the only possible. And with the line he's taking, I don't think. Oh, he does improve, you know, and takes P7. So a fine lap in the end by Die Hard Swanee at the end. Gains in P7 on the grid with a 29.8. But that is the end of qualifying. W. Paul and Chris just being wheeled into the pits at the moment. So as soon as they are wheeled in, that will be the end. So who's joining? Oh, Fox Hunter. Oh, leave me alone. Hey, I've got to commentate on what happens, mate. It's not my fault you win all. Mine. Anyway, just to confirm, so how did I miss that? MIT Pete took pole position. I completely missed that. My apologies to you, Pete. Pete takes pole position with a 28.8. What a lap. What's on P2? W Paul 3, Beano Boy 4, Carton King 5, Laguna 6, Die Hard Swanee and 7, Junkie Emperor 8, Chris 9, Big Willie Fitz gets in the top 10 again, Sam C6, P11, Fatal Defiance in P12, meaning the Hasser P10 and P12, Fox Hunter P13, Derek Gill P14, Robert H. Gill. I don't know, have we got brothers on track? Possibly. In 14 and 15, and then it disappeared and I didn't see who was at the back there. Excellent. So, guys, that will be the end of qualifying. We'll be going into the 50% race here at Saudi Arabia, Jeddah. I'm just going to grab myself coffee because I didn't quite manage to get one before the qualifying started, so I'm just going to go and grab it now. Just bear with me and I'll be back shortly. Right, guys, I am back with my coffee. Let's just, while we're waiting for the guys to take their breaks, and that's, if I get into HRF1 on my Discord. Alright, so Sunday Championship driver standings. Oh, we've not got any standings. Didn't last week count then? Was last week wasn't a pre-season, was it? Have I completely messed up? No. And it also wasn't Miami last week. Like I said earlier on, I completely messed up. This is what happens when you do 9 commentaries a week. You get completely lost on which track you did last week in each league. It was Bahrain last week. Who's being lazy and not doing the driver standings? Fox Hunter. I know you had some issues this week and couldn't get on Discord, but still. Oh well, I can't tell you the standings, guys, because I don't know what they were. What they are. The race results weren't posted either, so someone's been lazy. Somebody's readied up as well, so let's get back to it. So the formation lap kicks off then. Mighty Pete, who I apologise again for completely missing your bowl lap, man. But great lap it was. So, quick look at people's tyres on the formation lap. So Pete's gone with the mediums. Odd one this around Jeddah, where you quite possibly will, on a medium hard strategy or a hard medium, you quite possibly will end up doing more laps on the medium than the hard around here. So, bit back to front, but still. May depend though on where you are. Starting on the mediums, there may be a point where actually it might be better to look for an undercut rather than staying out. But drivers will have to make those decisions as the race goes on. Also, of course, safety cars around a track like this at Street Circuit. I've just done commentary on a safety car infested race. It's Australia. Obviously, there's a potential for Jeddah to be the same, although in all fairness, experience of doing Jeddah on F1-21, it didn't turn out like that. It wasn't a big safety car track, so not in my experience anyway. Anyway, regards to tyres then, so vast majority, well, it's a pretty even split between medium and hards. I won't go through telling you everyone, you can see them on your screen. So there we have it. Other than that, let's get the position changes up to help me at the start. As the guys then, oh, quick prediction, just a bit of fun, guys. I'm going to be doing this every race pretty much. Discounting those first two that have just been disqualified, because that's not what I'm going to talk about, but coming up to the grid, how many do you think will be disqualified for overshooting the grid slots? I'm going to go with 4. W Paul and Beano Boy don't count. They hit each other, that's why they got disqualified. There's one, Pete's done it. Only Pete so far. Quite a big gap there. Oh, come on, guys. I need 4. Let's get this right. Oh, there's 2, 3, 4, 5. Ah, Tempest. You do. Never mind. That was close. What is that? And off we go. The lights are out. So a pretty good view actually from Beano Boy's car. Look how Pete is bogged down and ends up in a sandwich. And drops down to P4. He needs to get himself moving. He's going to come under attack again now. Die Hard Swanee, the Gooner's already gone through. There we have it. Let's get to the broadcast cam then. Apologies we weren't on the broadcast at the start, but it was a terrible angle. Couldn't see a thing. But, with that then, so a horrendous start for Pete who bogged down. Watson up into P1, W Paul P2, Beano Boy P3, the Gooner 4, Pete's it then in 5. Seems to be up and running now. Okay. Die Hard Swanee 6, Emperor 7. Carter King's dropped from 5th to 8th. Willie Fitz is up 1 to 9. Tempest up 6 places at the start. That's a phenomenal start, Jeddah. Oh, and that's out. That's the Gooner out. He spun and is into the wall. I think that's going to be. I think at the moment it's a virtual. No, it's a full safety car. I was going to be amazed if it didn't bring out a full safety car there. Unlucky the Gooner. You have an early safety car. I can't imagine that's going to get anybody to jump in quickly. Safety car first lap, unless they've picked up damage. Let's go to penalties. Let's go to penalties second. Right, actually 5 people now have Watson pit in. I don't know why Watson's opted to pit. Did he pick up damage himself? No, he's just pitted for a fresh set of tyres to go to mediums. It's really odd. Why would you give up the lead just to pit on the first lap and just to rub salt into the wound? He's picked up 5 seconds doing it. As for anybody else that picked up 5 seconds, if I was them, I would have pitted. I don't think I would have stayed out. May as well serve it. Just like Junkie Emperor has. So let's just go to tyres. So then, as you can see, what's on him for fresh mediums for whatever reason. I'm sure he's got a reason in his head. Surely he's not thinking he's going to do the whole race on one set of mediums. I know the mediums are a tyre. They do last alright around here, but yeah, Ghost Rider. Stop advantage undone with a 5-second penalty. I don't know. He must be thinking he's going to go to the end on medium tyres. Otherwise, I don't see the point in a pit stop. And obviously, if they'd have changed his wing or something, then I'd have understood it. But just for a normal pit stop like that, he must be intending on going to the end. My safety car of the night, Ghost Rider. And he's having on that one of the race. It's going well. Perhaps it's me. Perhaps it's me doing comms. Perhaps I'm... Well, yeah, see, if people were swapping mediums to hards, I could understand it. But believe it or not, though, Ghost Rider, the strategy around here would have been something along the lines of 16 laps on mediums. Sorry, no, not 16, what am I talking about? About 14 laps on mediums, 11 on hards. That would have been the actual strategy that the game would have offered here. So, no, this is what's on in then, serving his 5-second penalty, and I assume going back to hards, he is indeed. Maybe that was what he was thinking. Maybe he was going to do that in a way and go back to hards. Now he is going to the end on hards. I don't know. We'll find out, I suppose. But it only takes another safety car to completely ruin that for him. But regards to safety car, it will be in this lap. So we'll be going again lap 4. 22 laps remaining. There's one thing with Jeddah. It's not a long lap. And it's a short race, really. I could argue possibly the shortest race on the calendar. I can't think of one that's shorter. I know it's not the shortest lap on the calendar, but because it's only 25 laps, time-wise, it must be one of the shortest races on the calendar. Has to be. Well, Watson has either just played an absolute genius stroke or made an absolute disaster of it. I don't know which it is yet. We'll find out as the race goes. But so the other problem for him is he's in P14 and it's not a track where you're likely to just sail through the field. I'm sure he's going to make a few places up reasonably easy. He's got Junkie Emperor in 11, Carton King in 12. These guys ain't slow. It's not as if he's just going to breeze past them. Fatal 10. Thought Sun's in 9. Derek Gill's had a good start, up to 8. Big Willie Fitz is up to P5 now. He's one of the ones with a penalty. So in a way, round the final corner. Why hasn't the safety car disappeared? Why are we going another lap? Everybody was caught up. Why hasn't the safety car gone in? Ugh. So do another lap there. We're going to do lap 4 under safety car as well. So presumably it'll come in lap 5. There's 10 pits now, pits. I would assume to stick hards on. I'm a little surprised that Big Willie Fitz and Sam haven't done that and taken that gamble. Would have served the 5 seconds, gone to hards. If no safety car comes out now, then my word, would that pay off massively. I must admit, it's a feature of this game. I'm really glad that the hard compound tyres are better this year. In real life in F1-21, hard tyres were probably the most used tyres throughout the season. Well, hard and medium, both really well used. Softs weren't used that much, and yet the softs in 21 had a huge overpower on them. So I'm glad it's not the same this year in the game. Hards are arguably, for me, the best tyre to be on because of the wear rate on the mediums and the softs. Will change a bit with tracks through the season, but we'll see what happens. So, if the safety car doesn't come in this lap, I would suggest we got an issue. Has to come in. So, Pete recovered up to P3 then. Obviously, Watson pitting will helps with that. There's the confirmation from race control. Safety car in this lap. We will get going again lap 5. 21 laps remaining. So, will those people that have swapped to mediums and then back to hards again, will it pay off for them? In a way, I really hope it does, because it's a brave strategy to do. Particularly for Watson from the lead, that is a brave strategy to take. As W Pool goes, it looks to me like he caught Beanie out. He's gaining on Beanie, but he's not quite going to reach him before the braking zone. So, as we see the McLaren of Die Hards go across the turn in, he's crashed, but has got going again. Hopefully that crash didn't cause too much damage to the car. He's managed to go again in P9, so it's not, you know, he's lost 5 places, but it's not the end of the world. Karting King there, who's up. Well, what's happened to Junkie? He's just fallen down to the back. So a miserable day so far for Ferrari, who were absolutely phenomenal last week out at Bahrain, by the way. Both drivers, Junkie and Daguna, were phenomenal. I'm trying to remember off the top of my head. Also, I do a lot of races, it's hard to remember individually. But now I know it's Bahrain. I think they got a double podium last week. Ferrari, I think they got first and third. As Fox Hunter gets ahead of Derek. So Fox is up into P7. Go on, Hunter. And Chris makes a move on Sam. Nicely done by the looks of things. And Chris is up into P5. Big Willie is up into P4 now. After the spin from Die Hard. Pete up into P2. He's gotten ahead of Beano Boy. Looks like he's just done that on the straight. And clearly Pete showed some immense pace in qualifying to take pole. So we'll see what sort of pace he can show now in catching W Pool. A track like this, doing it one lap in qualifying is one thing, but doing it lap after lap after lap in a race is so much harder. It looks here like Carton King's got a run on Derek. Around the outside, leaves plenty of room on the inside. I love to see that, but had the move done pretty comfortably in the end. But left loads of room just in case Derek was still there. Love to see racing like that. Nice, fair, hard. So Chris, meanwhile, is getting after. He's chasing Big Willie. Sorry, I can't help myself. Sector 3, yellow. I can't see what it is. It's a safety car. What have we got for... Oh, there's a load of debris in the back there, actually. So, Swanee had stopped to softs. I would suggest he comes back in and changes that again under the safety car. Debris looked like it had gone. It was just there. So, who's coming in then? Right, Chris is in, Sam's in. A lot of drivers still opting to stay out rather than come in, which surprises me for medium tyre drivers. It's 2 safety cars at Jeddah is now equally the most amount of safety cars I've seen at a race at Jeddah. And we're only on lap 7. It really is usually... Yeah, I think... Hey, Matex. Oh, you followed Jeff's strategy in the end, did you? Yeah, I think in terms of the game, Ghost Rider, I think you're right. I think a VSC for debris would make sense. In real life, I think that would have been a full safety car, in all fairness. It's a lot different. People's actual lives are at risk. So in that sense, I think it's realistic. I think we'd have had a full safety car there in real life. But in terms of the game, the programming and things like that, it would be quite a lot easier if they just programmed it. If it's just debris on a track, it's a virtual safety car. If it's a full retirement and they aren't so far off the track, then a full safety car would make much more sense. Perhaps they'll address that at some point, but perhaps it's something they'll look at and address. Read a lot of the glitches that people have looked at and seen in this game, and have, to be quite honestly, not stopped moaning about. Gets on my nerves. If you don't expect glitches on a game these days, you're going to be sorely disappointed, because it's just the way that it is now. The way that games are released. They're not released 100% completed, basically. Now, back in my younger days, when we had cartridges, or in my really early days, cassettes, on the likes of the Commodore 64 for cassettes, and then Mega Drive and Master System for cartridges, you didn't have that issue. They had to fully complete a game before release. It's just the way it is now. But it's difficult because obviously leagues, naturally, as gamers, we go out, we get the new game, we want to play it. But for league purposes, it would probably be better to start leagues about 2 months into the new game's release. But nobody wants to do that because they got the new game, they want to play the new game. But, anyway, that's enough of that. What's going on here? Right, so what's on is now in P8. But we don't believe he's going to be making another pit stop. I would suggest a particular time safety car later on in the race may mean that he makes a stop, but other than that, if there's no more safety cars, I'm sure he's going to go to the end. Doing all these laps under safety car on those hards just makes it even easier to get to the end. So think that's the case with him. Excuse me. So there's the notification. Big Willie Fitz is caught up at the back. Why is Big Willie Fitz at the back and on soft tyres? He was in P4 a minute ago. What happened to him? Never mind. So safety car in this lap. Let's get to the broadcast cam. Hopefully it'll give us a decent angle this time. So when Will W. Poole goes, he goes now, and didn't seem to catch Pete at all, although Beanie Boy's got an exceptional exit from the final corner. I don't think he's going to have enough tarmac to be able to make a move on Pete, but it's a good exit, and it's given a nice little order. Two Red Bulls side by side, and Carson King takes P4 off his teammate. Hunter, but he spins! Oh, Kingy! All three of them are spun. Oh dear, in the same place. That we saw someone spin earlier on, I've forgotten who it was. Three of them spin. The safety car's not coming out for that debris. And that's going to, a track like Jeddah, that's going to cause pit stops without doubt. Diehard Swanee moves into P8. Well, Diehard Swanee and Tempest pretty much running side by side here. And to the right hander, can they keep it clean? They do indeed. Good racing, guys. Tempest takes that position. Fine overtake. Despite Swanee being on soft tyres as well. Very fresh softs at the moment. At the moment as well, we've got Fate of Defiance is right on the back of Hunter. Junkie Emperor following just behind. At the moment, Hunter himself still within a second of Watson, but around the outside as we lose Sam from the session. And that is a full safety car. It's now officially the most safety cars I've ever had at a race at Jeddah. Into the pits comes Watson. The early tinkering about the strategy did not pay off in the end. Junkie Emperor into the pits, Swanee into the pits, Robert into the pits, Carton King into the pits, Chris into the pits, Derek into the pits, and surely Big Willie Fitz is indeed into the pits. As for the leader, I have no idea why the leaders aren't coming in. Perhaps they're waiting for the fifth safety car before they pit, then they know there can't be any more. Unfortunately, didn't see what happened to Sam. I saw where it was, but whether that was a contact incident or just an unfortunate spin, not entirely sure. Yeah, now mediums to the end. Completely agree, Ghost Rider. Which is what we've seen Watson do. I mean, he's done that, and because everybody behind him pitted, he's gotten away with that extra pit stop. He's only come out in 7th. And looking ahead, everybody ahead has to pit, apart from Tempest potentially, whose tyres are 3 laps older. I can't lie, I don't know why the top 5 haven't come in on this safety car. And I know the mediums that they're on, well, not what the Fatal Finds on hards, but I know the tyres they're on have done an awful lot of laps under safety car instead of racing conditions. It still adds wear, and on mediums, I expect they're still. I mentioned earlier on, I think the strategy that the game would have offered around here would have been something like 14 laps on mediums, 11 laps on hards. It might have also offered a soft to hard strategy, but as an alternative. But I think they find that was probably the option, which means they're not that far away from pitting, in a way. So, in a way, Derek is the last. Oh, we lose Tempest. I mean, how? How? That has to be contact. That's either contact or he's committed suicide. It's one or the other. What on earth is going on there? Yeah, Ghost Rider. Yeah, yeah, I know exactly what you mean. That's why my teams this season that I'm looking after for in our league, so Alpine and McLaren I'm looking after, I will be giving them a full strategy suggestion. I'm not saying they've got to go by it, but I'll be giving them a full strategy suggestion before every race. Because it's a new game, I don't think anybody fully knows strategies yet. Oh, what tracks can you get away with soft medium on? There's bound to be some. You know what I mean? One of the other things I like about this game is setup-wise, you really can choose in this game whether to set up for the long straights or for the tight corners, heavy braking corners or fast corners. Actually, our first race next week, Ghost Rider, is at Spain, and that is probably the best example of what I mean. A safety car is confirmed as in this lap, and we've lost Big Willie Fitz now under safety car. We've lost 2 drivers under safety car on this one. But yeah, Spain is probably the best example of what I mean, where you've got Sector 1, which is a high-speed sector. As they get going again, it's pretty close down there. So I'll finish that a bit later. Beano Boy just seemed to come out of power and let Pete through then. As Pete runs wide, and Beano Boy will take that position back, will he? He will indeed. Fade to Defiance into P4. Watson's now up to 5. Ahead of Hunter. And we have yellows in Sector 1 as Robert Gill pitted. I think the yellows are King and Derek Gill, which both from possibly out of contact. Pete, who was gifted P2 by Beano Boy on the straight, and then lost it again by running wide into turn 1. Now all over the back of him again. Just drop down a bit to Swanee, who is finding himself really close to the back of Chris. Despite Chris being on soft tyres, fresh soft tyres. Swanee has just lost a little bit there, and Chris is right on the back of Junkie Emperor now. Bit hard to make moves at the moment. There's too much. There's a lot of cars too close, but he is having a go here, Chris. He's around the outside of the Ferrari. It's that move done with relative ease. It's probably the extra grip of those soft tyres just allowing him to get the speed a bit quicker down the straight. He's now side by side with Hunter. He's going to have the outside into turn 1, but well, that's a very generous Fox Hunter there. He's backed out of that pretty much. But maybe a bit more of my mentality of live to fight another day. He clearly was still side by side and had the inside to the corner, so it would have been completely fair to have a go. Beano Boy, by the way, has caught the back of W. Paul quite significantly. Oh, Tempest hit the... Oh dear, okay, Tempest, she locked the brakes up under, trying to warm the tyres and hit the back of Fox Hunter. Unlucky, mate. On to next week. Can't win them all. So, yeah. Anyway, Ghost Rider, just to finish off what I was saying, so Spain's a great example for next week, where you can set up a lower downforce to be quicker in the first sector and therefore be competitive on the main straight for overtaking, or you can go with a higher downforce and be much more competitive through sector 2 and 3, which overall will get you the best time but will make it really difficult to overtake down the straight. So it's interesting what people go with in that sense, as W. Paul holds off the attack of Beano Boy. Meanwhile, Watson is into P3. Fatal Defiance in a very credible P4 at the moment, having a great race. Chris also, another one, having a great race, P5. Junkie, to be fair to Junkie, he's had to recover that. He's up to P6 now. At one point, Laguna was out and Junkie was running P15 at one point in this race. It was a really tough day for Ferrari, but he's making it he's turning it around somewhat. And look how close they're running. Chris will be desperate to get this move done. Fatal running on 13 lap old hards. You've got to remain patient around this track. It's no good sticking a wing in somewhere where it's not wanted, just as the car is about to turn in on a corner or something, as we lose Robert Gill. That's in sector 1. That could be. It's not yet. We might get away with this one not being a safety car, actually, because there's no cars anywhere near him. So yeah, there you are. His car's been recovered. We've got away with that one. So then, here's the moment then for Chris. Remarkably not deploying any energy. Why is he not deploying any energy? You've got DRS. Use the energy. Get through for turn 1. The longer you take to do it, the more pressure you're going to come under from Junkie Emperor. I'm surprised he didn't do it then. But never mind. It's always the next lap. Unless it's the last lap. Meanwhile, at the front, Watson has gotten past Beano Boy. And all of a sudden, Watson looks massive odds-on favourite to win this race. As he looks to the outside, W. Paul pulls across in front of him. But he still wasn't alongside, so he was allowed to do that. It's a fair move. And through into sector 2 they go. So it's another scenario where Watson would love to get this move done at the end of this lap, ideally, and then take advantage of Beano Boy being stuck behind W. Paul for a while. Right, so I'm off to chill for the night. Good luck, guys, and have a good stream. Cheers, Ghost Rider. Thanks very much for joining, mate. Avid watcher you are. I'm going to have to make you a VIP, because you do watch an awful lot. So, Watson into the lead of the race. A clear, massive favourite to win today. And I don't... Oh, as W. Paul has a look up the inside of turn 1. I think there was a tiny bit of contact there, but in the end, it's meant he's lost P2 as well. Or has he? Potentially not in the end. He does defend it, so stays P2. But the simple fact of the matter is that W. Paul and Beano Boy have to pit still. They're still on their starting tyres. Watson has pitted twice already. So they're effectively a pit stop behind him. And if this race now goes to the end as we lose Karting King, and that is a full Cars Yellow, that is the safety car that W. Paul and Beano Boy needed. I think you'll see everyone diving now for softs. Bearing in mind we're lap 16 now, that means 10 laps remaining. Say a couple of laps under safety car, 8 laps remaining. Everybody's going to move to softs. So the only ones that might not, in fact the only one that might not, might be Chris. He's on 3 lap old hards. He may opt to stay out. Where is he actually? Oh, maybe not then. It's not as if he's going to gain loads of places. What about someone like No, Hunter's on 15-lap old mediums. He needs to pit. He's got to pit. But the only other ones might be... Well, no, not with penalties. It's not really worth their while staying out if they got penalties. So I think everybody's got to come in. Watson could have been forgiven to not pit in there, not really realising that it was the right thing to do, but he has. And onto softs he goes. So... Yeah, so I mentioned about Swanee. He has opted to stay out and take track position. I thought that was a possibility, but the truth of the matter, because he's got a penalty, I'm not sure that was the correct thing to do. Because everybody's going to have better tyres than him now. I mean, it's going to be extremely difficult for him to pull out any sort of lead. And to make the matter even worse, his penalties are 5 seconds. Of course he should have pitted. Chris did opt to stay out. He was the other one I mentioned, but he wasn't close enough to the main pack to gain the positions. So again, he should have pitted. Anyway, we live and we learn. I mean, Die Hard Swanee. If he had a 3-second penalty, I could have understood his strategy to get the track position. I could understand that. But with a 5-second penalty, surely he has to pit. It doesn't make sense to stay out. But anyway, we move on. So, what's on is in P2 on fresh softs. Bino Boy has fresh softs in P3, but has picked his own 5-second penalty up. W Pool P4 on fresh. So the only guys not on fresh soft tyres are Swanee and Chris, who have opted to stay out on their hard tyres. Now if Pete catches up quick enough, Pete, who was our pole sitter, now running at the back of the still remainers. A tough race for him ever since he just didn't get off the line, and it made it very difficult for him at the start when he just bogged down. But he did recover at one point and was looking great, and I don't know, maybe just a badly timed pit stop or something. I don't know exactly what happened to him. And suddenly he finds himself down at the back with, or nearly, well, with 7 drivers ahead that are on exactly the same tyres, making it very difficult. So the safety car has stayed out for another lap. Right, so Die Hard Swanee and Chris do pit. So, it doesn't make sense, does it? Okay, he's got Die Hard Swanee now has tyres which are 1 lap younger than everybody else, but as does Chris. But he should have been in the pits. He'd be further up the grid with the same tyres as everyone else. But never mind. It's as I say. It's just one of those things. Sometimes the brain don't work quick enough. We don't think of it. Well, everybody's got their own jobs now. What's on? Bino Boy, W Pool. Their job is obviously to fight each other for the win, but also to pull away, basically, and secure the podium slots. Fatal Defiance, obviously, to defend on those behind him and hold on to that P4, and never know, maybe gain something ahead. The guys sort of further down towards the back, so Die Hard, Chris, Pete. Well, Pete will be trying to make his way back through the field. I'm sure with the pace he showed in quali, he must have the pace to be able to try it. But I think for Chris and Die Hard Swanee, it's going to be more a case of pick up a bit of the leftovers from others. Maybe having incidents. The way the race is going, it might be the best option for those two just to stay clean now. Just stay clean to the end. Don't pick up any silly penalties. Just stay clean, penalty free. See what happens. Confirmation comes up then, safety car's in this lap. So let's go to... There's the safety car going around. Oh, we lagged a little bit then, the safety car. That's what you're in and out, mate. Right, so here they come. When will he go? He's gone. He has gone. Let's go on board. I'm not sure anybody's... We've seen it so far. Nobody's really got a run off anyone on the safety car restart. W-Pool's close. Probably the closest we've seen so far on a restart, but was these guys towards the back really getting involved. Chris does hold on to P9 from Diehard 20 for the moment. Let's go back up. Watson has already pulled out a 1.7 second gap. It suggests to me that maybe... Well, W-Pool has gotten ahead of Beano Boy, so it's clearly with them fighting for that position that Watson's managed to find the gap. We're in that situation again, so it's difficult to know who to watch right now because everybody's so close. It's just... Oh, who was that? Ah! Can't find him. It was Pete. Pete's been round. So Chris and Swanee both move up a place each. And look at Diehard Swanee and Chris as they go side by side. Out onto the straight, and Diehard Swanee makes that place up and is up into P8. He's recovering well. That's important for Swanee. He's now just got to aim at Derek, get that gap down. Derek's the next target. Then after that, Hunter is within DRS range of Junkie. And it's 4 cars. If he can get ahead of Derek, the next 4 cars all have penalties. Meaning that Swanee, potentially, if he could get right onto the back of Hunter, could actually nick a podium here. Which would be an outstanding result. As that's W-Pool. Right. W-Pool round. He's lost his front wing. It's absolutely disaster for W-Pool. He restarts in 8th. I don't know whether Pete's there, so yeah, I don't know. He might come in, he might not. He might actually try and stay out with no front wing. I don't know. We'll see. We know the car's drivable without a front wing this season, so we may try and give it a go. And we lose. Oh no! Fatal Defiance. Oh no! And guess what, ladies and gentlemen, that is a safety car. So, well, that's unreal. Oh, Fatal. So sorry for you, man. You're having a good race. In fact, you're having a brilliant race. So sorry for you. Let's just go on Vox Hunter while we're waiting for the safety car stuff to happen, because tells me I've got to watch him for a decent amount of time each week. Say, from my point of view, the lobbies ran absolutely fantastically, as did the race I did before this, as did both the lobbies last night that I was involved with commentating on as well. Does seem like the stability improvements they did on the recent patch have really worked well. Still some issues to be sorted out. I know there's still some audio glitches, particularly for guys on the older Xbox, and the Xbox One, but all these things will be dealt with. I'm pretty sure there's going to be another patch either this coming week or the week after. They've already announced it, so hopefully we'll get that pretty quick. Ah, Fatal. Damn it, I was on for a good result as well. You were, but you'd been having an absolutely fantastic race. You really had. So sorry for you on that one, man. So, W-Pool's mistake means he's pitted for the new front wing on a safety car, then comes out in P8 with fresh softs. He may be able to make his way up a little bit. The people this is really hurting now that are still on track are the guys with penalties that are just... Obviously, when safety cars keep coming out, they just cannot create a gap, so they know they're going to end up dropping down at the end. Close to the end now, so let's go to penalties. So it's 5 seconds for Beano Boy, 3 seconds for Junkie, and 3 seconds for Hunter. But with the guys they got behind them, Derek's had a decent race today. Swanee looks pacey, so I think he's able to stay within those gaps. And Pete, who took that pole position with an outstanding lap, must have pace, so these guys are quick enough to still... So actually, we could end up with a podium that is Watson, but actually, it could then be Derek, Swanee, or Pete. Still even be W. Paul. I may as well say Chris as well, so that I've covered all of them, just in case. So... Yeah, you looked good tonight, man. You really did. I can't believe I binned it, pushed it too hard to catch Watson. Yeah, man. I've gotten a couple of seconds down the road, and I think... hindsight's an amazing thing, isn't it? In hindsight, maybe pushing to catch Watson wouldn't have been the cleverest thing, but as I say, we all live and learn when hindsight is the most wonderful thing in the world. As Carton King leads the session. Another one who's having a good race today, unfortunate it's DNF. But, yeah. It's a real shame for your team as well, though, Fatal, because both you and Big Willie Fitz, at some point, have run in P4 today. You've both been up in P4 at some point during this race. Before something happening. So, there really was the potential in there for a brilliant Haas result today. So, never mind, it's only the second race of the season, and we move on. And we know it's a difficult track, so... keep that in mind as well. Actually, for me personally, I'm finding Jeddah this season quite a bit harder than I found it last season. But even though the track seems the same, apart from the DRS change. Setup made, overtakes easy. Yeah. Yeah, we're still learning the game. So, yeah. Oh, we most definitely are. I'm still 100% sure that we ain't doing the setups 100% correctly. Even the top boys, I don't think they got it completely right yet. As then, Watson moves away out of the final corner. Let's go down to on board again, because it's giving me a terrible angle. It looks like Derek's got a little bit of a run on Hunter. Is he going to go to the inside? No, thinks better of it. Just stays in uniform. But look at the guys behind. They were free of breadth there. Zach McLaren, nice Swanee. Ghosting. I didn't see him drop out, and it's not suggesting he has dropped out. Send him an invite anyway, just in case. He was on for a podium. He was 100% on for a podium, Diehard Swanee. For whatever reason, he's now ghosting, and has lost that opportunity. So, W. Paul gets ahead of Hunter. He continues his search. He's not given up on a podium yet, as he is a job. Bonnie takes in, but he is going to be fuming that that's happened. Always seems to happen at the wrong time, doesn't it? It never happens when you're on your own by 10 seconds or something like that either side. But on a safety car restart where you're pretty much nailed on a podium. And look at this battle here. This is Pete trying to get past Fox Hunter, while having Chris and Derek all over the back. Fortunately for Pete, he's paid for that. But so's Fox Hunter as well, as Chris gets ahead of him, picks up the pieces. He's going to be the one that's going to try and benefit from staying penalty free. 2 laps remaining. As it stands right now, right this second, he would only gain the 1 place. He wouldn't quite pick up a podium. Obviously a P4 would be an outstanding result though, but you know, just depends if he can get the gap down a little bit. So the car ahead of him at the moment is W Pool, so he's not going to be easy to stay on the back of, as Derek gets past Pete into P7. So I'm not sure if Pete's actually picked up some damage from that contact at the final corner. Oh, and Derek's lost it from guaranteed points. He was in a position that would have given him 6 points, I believe. He's dropped it. Sorry, we do, we use the same as Arc, don't we? That's just me lagging a little bit. It might be Swanee lagging a little bit. He did lose connection. So, Pete's then going for a move on Hunter. They're back side by side. So we use Arc points, so actually it's an awful lot more than 6 points he was on for there, Derek. And he's dropped it. As we are now on the last lap, so just looking down again. At the moment, what's on guaranteed victory? As long as no silly mistakes occur. Beano Boy has picked up a further 3 seconds. He now has 8 seconds of penalties. He will drop to 3rd, he will drop to 4th, he will drop to 5th. He might even drop to 6th. I think he does, you know. I think he will drop to 6th. Let's change it to gap to the leader. That'll make it easier. Yeah, right as it stands, right this second, he would actually drop to 7th, but... Oh, no, he won't, because Fox Hunter's got 3 seconds, but... okay. This is our battle to the end. This is a genuine battle for position, so both on 3 seconds of penalties. I do like to watch the leader over the line if we can, but we need to see these guys out the final corner, I feel. We can't come off of them, it's going to be a drag race to the line. As Watson wins the Jeddah Grand Prix. Junkie Emperor is promoted to P2, which is a fantastic result for Ferrari. When you look at where they were earlier on in the race after Daguna's retirement, and Junkie sitting P14, to pick up a P2 in the end is absolutely outstanding. Chris then is promoted to a podium spot. He takes P3. Congratulations to him. He gets the game driver of the day. I'll confirm if he gets the commentators as well. Oh, sorry, I just completely skipped the podium. I don't normally do that. My apologies to those that would have seen their characters celebrating. So Watson takes the race win with the fastest lap as well, significantly faster than anyone else. But it does help when you've got clean air. I'm second on the grid. Junkie Emperor P2, Chris P3, W Pool P4, Pete P5, Beano 6. Swanee then ends up P7. Hunter in the end finishes P8, but he does finish. The unthinkable happens, and Fox Hunter finished and picks up his first points. Derek has been classified, but didn't finish the race, so it's P9. Whereas Fatal Defiance, Carton King, Robert Gill, Big Willie Fitz, Tempest, Sam, and Daguna all are DNFs from the race. Derek Gill, I don't know, regards league rules, whether he will get the points for 9th, as he's technically classified or not. There we have it. Regards the commentator's driver of the day, then. Very impressed. There was some impressive performance out there. Hunter did a great job. Swanee at one point was doing a great job until his blooming internet let him down. Bino was great for out, but the penalties have let him down. Pete, unfortunately, from pole down to 5th, isn't going to get driver of the day. W. Paul had his moments throughout the race, but again, penalties. I can't really look any further than Chris. I'm not giving it to Watson because his strategy was horrendous. But yeah, I think Chris deserves it for the podium. So congratulations, Chris, on the commentator's driver of the day. And I think you were given the game one as well, so congratulations. How to sum up that race? Right, okay, well, it's been safety cars galore for me all night tonight, so did we have all 5 then? Right, sorry about that. I put my control pad down and it just turned off. Anyway, we're back. Yeah, so I think I've had 7 safety cars in 2 races tonight, which is outstanding and, very exciting. But regardless of that, what did I say about the races? There was some fantastic racing in there. There genuinely was. There were some silly moments as well. There were just some unlucky moments where people lost it. It's an easy track to do it, so, you can be forgiven for losing it at Saudi Arabia. Other than that, yes, you did W4, unlucky man. Yeah, so other than that, I think Jeddah was a hard place to go on only the second race of the season on New Game. Bahrain was a great race last week, thoroughly enjoyed it, and but it was still worth it tonight. And anyway, congratulations to our winner, Watson, and P2, who was Junkie Boy. And Chris, congratulations on P3 and the double driver today from the game and myself. So congratulations, mate. Other than that, guys, I've been commentating as always since 5 o'clock on a Sunday, and so I kind of want to get off and chill out a bit. But again, I still enjoyed it, guys. It wasn't the race it was last week, but I still enjoyed it very much throughout. And I look forward to next week's race. I don't know where we are. If somebody could do the standings at some point this week, that would be appreciated. So hopefully then I can use the graphics on the stream next week if I can figure it out. Just having a quick look at the calendar just to confirm that next week's race we are at... Oh my word, it's another safety car laden track. It's Australia. Who put Jeddah and Australia next to each other? It's because you're following the actual calendar, isn't it? That's what it is. Then you got Imola, then Miami, and Spain, Monaco. Whose idea was it to go with the actual calendar? That's a horrendous run of races. Gets easier in the second half, though. Anyway, thanks very much, guys. Thanks to everybody who's tuned in and contributed to the stream. It's always really appreciated. Thank you to everyone that watches it back as well. It's very much appreciated as well. No worries, Chris. No, it wasn't an easy race, mate. But no, you deserved it in the end. Yeah, as I say, it's all very much appreciated to all of you. So thank you very much. I look forward to next Sunday. I'll definitely see you again next Sunday. So we'll be back then, same time, same place. And good night, and enjoy the rest of your Sunday evenings. And enjoy going back to work tomorrow. Good night, and God bless.